Hi everyone! Surprise and welcome to a new episode of Surprise Guest with Pia Arcangel. Hindi ko alam obviously kung sino ang ating guest today, but you can join me in guessing. It's another big surprise for us today kung sino ang ating makakasama, and I hope I get it right the first time because lagi akong natitense kapag first clue pa lang hindi ko na magets. Although marami naman tayong makukuhang clues. So hopefully mahulaan ko kaagad. So, okay, alamin na natin kung sino ating surprise guest for today. First clue. Guys, napaka-generic naman ang clue. Parang gusto niyo mahulaan ko kaagad. Ang first clue, Kapuso host. Okay, hindi man lang nakalagay kung male or female, no? Okay, Kapuso host. Oh, second clue, sportscaster. Alam ko na kung sino to. Yay! Is our surprise guest Martin Javier? Yes!
Yes, it's me.
Hi, Martin!
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Super
me
excited.
too. Uy, may iba pang clues na dumating eh. After I guess you, Best TV Sports Program Host ng Platinum Stallion Media Award. Wow, Martin, congrats. And of course, this is the newest, Game Changer, which is your segment on 24 Oras.
Yes po, Miss
Right?
Pia.
Yes. Okay, kaya lang di pa tayo nakikita sa studio lately. I look forward to that.
Ako rin po.
Ay,
Really
talaga.
excited. Sana mag-weekend din.
Oo nga. I was gonna say, sana hanggang weekend. Nako, sino bang kailangan nating kausapin para umabot ng weekend yung Game Changer?
Si Miss Pia, mabilis na lang yan. Mabilis na usapan na lang yan. Opo.
Pero live ha, live yan.
Opo, game. Game po ako. Game ako dyan.
Oh, Martin, we see each other from time to time in different events, different occasions, but parang it's always brief lang the time that we get to talk. So at least now we get to sit down and really talk. I'll ask you how you are first. We know what's keeping you busy, but kindly enumerate na rin for us everything that's keeping you busy right now.
How am I? I would consider myself blessed and very grateful right now. I'm in a very grateful state right now kasi po talaga marami dumarating na blessings. Kasi po ang expected ko this year, Miss Pia, I knew kasi may konting break tayo from the NCAA. Akala ko talagang medyo relax lang, so break period. Pero I've been hosting pa rin po sa mga GMA events like GMA Masterclass and for GMA Regional TV. So we've been going to different regions, bringing along our different icons here in the Kapuso Network. Tapos nag-host din po minsan ng pageant sa regional din po. Aside from that po, ito po, dumating yung Game Changer. So this wasn't expected at all. Like ako po parang, hindi ko talaga alam na possibility to para sa akin dito. Well, of course, I've been looking at some of the shows that I could possibly be part of. Pero lang yun, nasa isip ko lang yun. Hindi ko alam na ganito magiging kabilis. But again, very grateful po kina Sir Oli, GMA News, Sparkle as well for making this happen for me, putting this all together. Tsaka ibang klase din po siya kasi napapalaban talaga ako dito. So it's not, ang alam ko po yung perception niya parang sports. Kasi syempre ako yung sportscaster, sports guy. So it's not just sports kasi po. So it's about, what's trending right now. Kumbaga kaya siya Game Changer po. So kung ano yung mga game-changing sa iba't ibang industry, may it be a recreational activity, mga theme park, obstacle course, kung merong mga nagtitrend na vlogs ngayon, parang yung ginawa po namin. Iba't ibang industry rin po, business, tech, pwede po na. So yun, Miss Pia, that's what I've been up to so far.
Well, you mentioned, Martin, obviously we first met you on TV as a sportscaster. Next, we met you on TV, but parang we first saw you on TV as a sportscaster. Was this your first, your foray into television work, sportscasting?
Interestingly, hindi po, Miss Pia. So, my introduction to I wouldn't even consider it as a break, pero parang yun yung intro ko to television. I took a broadcast communication po. So, yung mga kaklase ko, naghahanap na sila ng mga opportunities sa labas. So, we auditioned in one VJ search, ganyan. That was way back 2011. Po yung una kong sinalihan. So, yung mga kaklase ko po, hindi sila nakuha. Ako po yung fortunately tinawagan. I was a finalist there. And then po, after that, nag-radio po ako for a little bit. Tapos, nag-host pa rin po. Ang una ko pong audition to become, alam niyo po to, Miss Pia, to become a courtside reporter. You know the feeling. Una kong audition noon was senior po ako, college. So, hindi po ako nakuha noon. I think that was the first year na yung group na yon hindi sila kumuha ng guys. Kasi ako po, sabi ko, excited ako. Di ba usually, Miss Pia, kung nakikita mo, 1 or 2 guys, kumukuha sila at least per season. Meron silang sinasama. Tapos yun din po yung gusto kong sundan dati. Kasi may mga nauna sa akin na courtside reporter muna. And then, they progressed into anchoring and commentating. Tapos po, nung hindi ako nakuha na medyo gumuho po yung mundo ko. Kasi sabi ko, oy, hindi na ba ito possibility para sa akin? Ganyan. So, I graduated po. And then, I went into a little bit of advertising, social media work po. And then, nakita ko ulit sa TV, uy, may audition ulit. So, yun po. Sabi ko, email ko. Kasi po, nagka-chat kami ng producer afterwards po nung una kong audition. So, in-email ko ulit siya. Sabi ko, can I audition again po? So, sabi niya, sige, you can send me your resume via email. Sabi ko, hindi. Gusto ko, pupunta ako doon. Nagko-commute pa ako nun, Miss Pia. Pupunta ako doon, hustle ko yan, papasok ako doon, ako mismo magda-drop off ng resume ko. That's what I did. And then she put it in the pile of, dami po nun, auditionees. Tapos po yung isa sa mga producer dati, kita niya ako, pumasok. So, naalala niya ako from my previous audition. Kinuha niya yung resume ko from the pile. And then, tinawagan niya ako agad, maybe a day after. Do you want to audition for Anchor, but for a different league? Ano po to? NCAA. Sabi ko, yes! Yan po talaga yung yan yung ultimate goal. Kumbaga, at that time, yan yung ultimate goal ko. So, I skipped the part of becoming a courtside reporter and then, went straight to anchoring. But it wasn't super easy, Miss Pia, kasi when I first audition, obviously, wala talaga akong experience. Ang katabi ko pa po nun, nagbabalik na pro sportscaster din. So, pro na yon. Alam niya, na siya, may experience na siya. So, kabang-kaba pa po ako nun. And then, after the audition, they didn't call me for maybe almost a year. The year after po, next season, din na po ako tinawagan. That was my very first venture into sportscasting. Yun
wow, po. 1 whole year. So 1 whole year na parang nothing, no word whether or not you were accept. I mean, obviously, after a year, medyo mapapaisip ka na, wala na lang yan. Pero no comment or anything like that.
Okay, so almost a year po. Tapos may ka-gym po kasi ako na kasama dun sa sportscasting team na yon. Isa sa mga analyst na basketball analyst. Ka-gym ko siya sa namin. Sa Taytay pa po dati kami nakatira. Sabi ko, musta? Sabi niya, hindi ka pa ba tinatawagan? Sabi ko, hindi pa, wala pa nga. Wala pa nga ang tawag. Last year pa ako huling nag-audition. Sabi niya, parang okay ka na eh. Sabi niya, parang okay ka na. Ayoko pong umasa. Ganun. So sabi ko, sige. Sakto po yun, Miss Pia. Nag-resign ako sa regular work ko. First time kong wala akong fallback na trabaho. Tapos, a month after, tama yung sinabi niya, tinawagan na ako. First meeting namin, yun po.
Wow,
Ibang
alam mo,
feeling.
that's a great testament to your character na you didn't give up. Like with the audition for courtside, tapos after a year of waiting, parang game pa rin. Parang try lang ng try. So that means you really wanted it also. And you're not the type to just, say, okay, kung wala. Di ba?
Yes po, Miss Pia. It's always been my dream. Every time I'm in the office. Tapos nagre-radio pa rin kasi po ako nun. Sabi ko, okay, ito ba talaga yung gusto ko? Ito ba talaga yung path ko? Maybe, there's another thing for me out there that, I'm gonna be good at. And, sabi ko, sige, pupuntahan ko ulit to. As nung nabigyan na po ako ng opportunity, sabi ko, I knew where I was po, in terms of skills, in terms of talent. I knew I needed to do a lot of work for me to improve. So, yun po yung naging motivation ko. Yun po yung talagang, alam ko yung pinanggalingan ko. So, sabi ko, sige, build natin to hanggang sa kahit mapaano maging kasing competitive ng mga kasabayan ko po dun sa network.
Ang galing, no? Important rin kasi na alam mo kung ano yung gusto mo. Because that's really what's gonna help you really push for what you want. And yung sinabi mo na you're sitting in your office job and you're thinking, is there something else out there for me? It brings back memories for me kasi ako naalala ko, I did office work then and then parang nakatingin ako. This one very vivid until now, more than 20 years ago, but I was sitting on my desk in the office and then I saw out our window, EDSA yung view ko, may nakita akong crew cab, news crew cab. Sabi ko, parang yan talaga yung gusto kong gawin. So now we have something in common that I know about Martin.
This is after you did courtside, Miss Pia.
Yes, that was after I did courtside, but I wasn't in news yet because I really wanted to do news. And for me, parang that was my entry. Pero syempre, hindi naman tuloy-tuloy yun, di ba? I don't know, it was a different time. Let's not say how many years ago it was. But
No, but I admire kasi po, I feel like nung ako po, nung time ko na, medyo may internet na ng konti. So, may nag-i-introduce na yung internet, ganyan po. Yung earlier times, mas mahirap mo pang i-pursue ang dream mo nun. Kasi parang hindi ka pa open dun sa mga, kasing open dun sa information and possibilities na mga pwede mong parang path or track na pwede mong i-pursue sa life. So, mas admire ko yun, Miss Pia. Mas feeling ko yung mga noon, mas ano yun, mas hustle talaga, pure hustle. Bakit sila napunta dyan? Yan.
Ang lakas lang makatanda nung wala pang internet nung time namin. Pero hindi,
Sorry.
totoo. Kasi
Okay.
nung time namin, wala pa namang cellphone na you can practice, di ba, how to do a video. Kung gusto mong mag-practice na nagvi-video ka, bibili ka pa talaga ng handycam.
Yun.
Oo,
Handycam.
handycam na hindi naman siya mura, di ba? Tsaka, I mean, not everybody had a handycam. But anyway, nakakatawa, Martin. Yung pagiging sportscaster, that's really the work that you wanted to do on TV.
Yeah.
As in sports talaga. Because you're a sports fan.
Opo. I guess I'm a sports fan. I started watching sports maybe po 8 or 9 years old. Inintroduce lang po ako nung dad ko dun sa Lakers. Ito po, Lakers. Yan. So forever Laker fan po ako. Inintroduce po ako dun mga year 2000 po, ano pa lang ako. Nanonood-nood lang. Yung 2001 po. Kasi grade 3 po ako, nagpustahan kami ng mga kaklase ko. Mga kabarkada ko po, ngayon, kabarkada ko pa rin. Pustahan kami, sino mananalo, Sixers or Lakers. Allen Iverson po yun, tsaka si Shaq, tsaka si Kobe. Sabi namin, Lakers kami. Yung kakalaban namin, Philadelphia siya. So nanalo yung Lakers doon. Ever since then po, ever since that series and that season, parang hinahanap-hanap ko na siya. So pagkagising ko po, ang matik ko po na maano pa po nun, internet po na, ISP, yung mga dial-up po, ganyan. So, pero magsasearch pa rin ako, bagal-bagal. Tapos, pero magsasearch pa rin ako ng, una ko, NBA.com, babasahin ko yung mga articles, and then I look for highlights of the day. After po basketball, or after NBA, sabi ko, may mga magandang league din sa Pilipinas. Doon po ako nanonood ng mga PBA, PBL, NCAA, UAP. Favorite ko po nun yung PBL. Yun yung parang D-League noon ng PBA. Alam niyo po yan, Miss Pia. So, that was my favorite before. Talagang diehard ako, yung mga Wellicott, yung mga ganun po. So, talagang kilala ko sila. And then, after po noon, doon na rin ako nahihilig manood din. Kasi syempre po, pag basketball lang, ang dami mo rin nakikita. Marami rin pong sports channels noon na international sa cable. Doon ako nanonood ng mga, minsan po nanonood ako ng tennis, football po dati. Lalo po yung mga naglalaro din po kasi ako ng video games noon. Nalalaro ko yung mga FIFA. Sabi ko, sino ba itong mga to? So, nanonood po ako pag ng mga games. So, doon nagsimula yung interest ko ng sports po. Pero po, Miss Pia, iba pa rin yung, kumbaga, I remember my first time covering a game. Yung pinakaunang beses ko po. Sabi ko, yung pinapakinggan mo po sa TV, ibang-iba kapag ginagawa mo na and you're doing the commentary. Especially you're doing it for the first time. It's good po if you have prior experience. Like, you did courtside reporting. Kasi may ano ka na, may kumpiyansa ka na, may confidence ka na to, face the camera and speak in front of the camera. But if you're coming totally from scratch, it's gonna be like an uphill climb talaga. Kailangan mo talaga, sige, kailangan natin ito matutunan. Ang goal ko lang po nung una kong game noon, sabi ko, gusto ko lang maging decente today. Sabi ko, kailangan decente lang yung performance ko. Yung hindi nila sasabihin, Miss Pia, na banu naman niya. Yun, sabi ko, sabi niya, okay naman, meron naman, pwede naman. Yun lang yung goal ko noon, Miss Pia.
Wala ka bang fear of dead air? Ako feeling ko that's the number one fear of anybody who has to do straight commentary on TV. Kasi until now, ako, when I do interviews also, kinakabahan ako na parang, teka, baka wala na akong next question. Alam mo yun, yung parang kailangan meron akong at least 5 questions na naka-line up kasi I'm so scared of dead air. Did that ever happen to you?
Oh yes. Especially in my very first season, Miss Pia, I would experience, yung talagang magba-blackout ka. Or magme-mental blackout tuloy. Magme-mental block ka. Hindi ka naman magba-blackout po. Magme-mental block ka lang pala. Yan, magme-mental block ka na parang, okay. Kasi po, ito yung dinedescribe ko dun sa pinakauna kong season, especially with, the craft. Sabi ko, yung commentary kasi, like when you're doing it for the first time and in your first few games, para kang nalulunod pa. Para kapag nadadala ka pa ng alon, ganyan, nandiyan ka pa. And then eventually in your second season, third season, that's when you see it on a different perspective. So that's when you gain more control of the coverage. Pero yung mga una mo, wala ka niyan. Ano ka talaga niyan? Gumaganyan ka lang niyan. So, yan, nakikita mo yan. Minsan po na may mental block ako. Tapos sa isip ko, so siguro po may mga mental block ako na mid-sentence nawawala ako. Tapos mga 5 seconds, wala siyang ganyan. In my head, it was much worse. Sabi ko, nagpanic ako ganyan. Pero sinasabi po ng mga producer, okay, hindi na mahalata. Pero ako sa sarili ko, wala akong sinabi, ang pangit. Ano sinabi sa akin? Ano sinabi tungkol sa akin? Ganyan. May mga ganun po ako.
Pero okay rin na parang you set higher standards for yourself, di ba? Kasi parang that's how we're all gonna improve at whatever it is that we're doing. Not necessarily as a host or, doing commentary or whatever. But in anything that you do, always set a higher standard for yourself. But let's talk about, Martin, let's talk about NC. Kasi imagine it's the 99th season. I always say na I've been wanting to watch an NC game live. But I haven't had the chance because the games now are always on weekends. Tapos it's right before we also go on air. Can you describe to us yung atmosphere ng NC? I mean, diba, you said you've watched all the different leagues growing up. It's different per league eh. How would you describe the NC experience?
Wow. Iba kasi po yung NC experience kasi talagang, lalo na pag dumarating na tayo sa mga Final Four and finals, nakikita mo talaga yung passion and rivalry ng mga alumni, bumabalik talaga sila. Kasi po ang NCAA experience, I think, a lot of basketball fans know it as well here in the Philippines. It's much more physical, yung style of play po niya. So, when you talk about the other leagues, like other collegiate leagues at least, they're more organized eh. Dito, it's organized ball, but may konting mas physical. Tsaka mas may konting freedom yung mga players to explore their individual talents and individual skills as basketball players. So, that's what makes it more entertaining for me. And yun din siguro yung rason, Miss Pia, kung bakit marami ring mga players na nanggagaling sa NCAA na nagpo-progress at nakakagawa ng magagandang careers pagdating na sa professional leagues. So yun, that's the NCAA experience. The physicality is higher. Nakikita mo talaga yung mga player. Kasi nanonood po ako ng mga preseason leagues eh. So that's part of their preparation. So I watch them, just to check out their lineup in the upcoming season. Yung level of competition po dun sa mga preseason leagues nila, ang layo po dun sa, kunwari, opening day namin. Sabi ko, iba talaga yung yung intensity. Pagdating na dun sa Mother League, the NCAA, inaangat talaga nila yung mga laro nila because they know what's at stake pag sumali po sila sa NCAA at pag nagsimula na yung NCAA.
Iba rin kasi talaga pag pag school rivalry, iba rin yung crowd mo.
Opo. Iba talaga po. Ito rin yung dinedescribe ng iba na yung college talaga, mapa-player o mapa-fan, mga mapa-estudyante, ano po yan, iba yung passion na makikita mo because they're doing it all for their school. Yun pa yung pinaka-raw na talaga, naglalaro kami ng basketball para sa eskwelahan namin. So we're going all out. We'll leave it all on the floor. Wala kaming ititira para sa sarili namin. At ganun din po yung support. Lalo na po pag pumupunta na tayo sa Final Four at saka finals. I think last season was one of the most intense final series that I've ever seen.
Oh yes,
sa NCAA.
intense
Oh my
talaga.
gosh. At hindi pa po ito yung kasi po ang parang niyan, yung biggest rivalry niya ay San Beda Letran. It's not even San Beda Letran. It was
Benilde
and Letran. Unheard of na talagang, especially in the previous seasons, nagganon ka-intense yung Benilde fans. At napuno nila yung mga venue. Sabi ko, okay, something's changing. Something is, we're doing something right at least in promoting the NCAA dito po sa GMA.
I know, Martin, you can't have a favorite team. Or at least you can't tell us who your favorite team is. But who are the players that excite you now when you watch the NC?
This season po, I'm not sure if it's gonna be, kasi a lot of people say it's super wide open kasi po marami nang nawala. Lalo po sa Letran, ang dami ng mga graduate ng mga key players from their previous 3 championships. But, I'm gonna start with the defending champions. I think they still, have a lineup at least to defend their championship, go for a 4th straight championship. Siguro po sa Letran, maybe it's Kurt Rayson. He's been balling po in the preseason. dropping 30 points, 35 points casually against other tougher collegiate competition. Tapos, syempre po, sa pagdating sa Benilde, ako si Will Gozum, and he's coming off one of his best seasons, MVP season niya sa NCAA. So, with him returning and with the reinforcements that he has, I think CSB po is one of the teams to watch as well. Tapos po, syempre po yung mga iba pa nating recruit. Kasi marami pong nawala this season. Maraming hindi nag-continue. May mga iba, 1 year lang. Pero marami rin pong mga bagong pangalan na papasok. Yun po yung mga inaabangan ko. And especially the second-year players like San Sebastian. They have, a very good core there in William Bing. Michael Are wasn't able to... We were expecting Are to be the next great point guard po for San Sebastian, but he wasn't able to get his game going. At least, hindi yung talagang yung ideally na gusto niya. So, yun, expected ko po siya na talagang bumulusok this season. Tapos, pwede. JRU, ayun po. Kasi si Coach Louie po, maganda yung system niya and it's always been in place. Sayang po yung run nila last year na talagang medyo naputo lang talaga yung momentum nila because of the COVID protocols. But I think they also have a good chance this year. So, yun, Miss Pia, some of the players and teams to watch out for. And not to mention the other teams. I'm sorry kung hindi ko ma-mention yung mga NCAA teams sa iba. May Perpetual pa tayo na ang lakas din, ganda pinapakita sa preseason. Meron tayong San Sebastian. San Beda is always there. Coach Yuri Escueta is si Coach Yuri po is a very young and a very modern type of coach. Ang ganda kasi po ng influences ni Coach Yuri. I think the struggle for him last year was the mix of players. I think it was his first year. He's a young coach. And the players were kind of uncertain if they still wanted to be there in the school or not. They wanted to be out. I think key for him in the second season is to get players who want to play for him and who will, accept his system. Yun po.
I like what you pointed out, Martin, na hindi na lang kasi siya Letran San Beda na that's in the past, di ba? Parang yun yung great NCAA rivalry because other teams are really getting stronger. Plus, like you mentioned, yung Benilde with Will Gosm coming back. And then, parang, syempre, tapos now, coming into the season, meron na silang some level of championship experience. Kasi last year, di ba, it was, 20 years since the last time they were in the finals. And so now, parang may konting momentum din sila on their part. So parang, ang daming mga permutations na pwede hanggang finals. Di ba?
Opo. Kaya siya sobrang mas magiging exciting this season, Miss Pia. Kasi may mga teams na nag-emerge na hindi natin ine-expect na. Kasi I think 11 or 12 straight years po pumapasok ang San Beda sa finals ng NCAA. Pero po simula nung I think a couple of seasons ago, doon na break yung streak nila. And we've been seeing, not to mention pala, nakalimutan ko, Miss Pia, young team last year who made it to the Final Four or was looking to take it all the way this year, LPU po, nag-Final Four. Lahat po kami nagulat. Wala po yun sa, namin, Final Four prediction, tapos biglang nag-Final Four po sila. I guess the race right now is wide open. But of course, we have front runners, not named San Beda or Letran. May mga iba tayong schools na emerging po.
Oh, Martin, ang galing mo mag-explain ng ng basketball. I mean, which is of course expected. You are a sportscaster. So I'm curious how you make that shift between sports and let's say your other hosting gigs. Like for example, when you're hosting a beauty pageant, parang minsan ba mapapaswitch ka na parang, eto, umaarangkada na ang candidate number, ganyan. Or it's not a problem for you at all.
Stay updated with Nelson Canlas,
Nabasted ka na ba?
No?
Oh, ako with confidence ha.
the online source for anything showbiz.
Teka muna Ray ha, meron akong sorpresa sa iyo.
Hello?
Oh, ay!
The latest celebrity news bago pa kumalat para sa ating mga updaters.
7 months mo kinim-kim ito. Bakit ngayon mo lang nailabas?
Aga kong biyak.
Pakitanong po kung ang reason ng breakup ni Carla.
Wow, talagang diretso ha.
Ipagpatuloy mo yung prinsipyo na sa gagawin mo, huwag kang manakit, be fair, and be grateful.
Updated with Nelson Canlas.
Martin, Ang galing mo mag-explain ng ng basketball. I mean, which is of course expected. You are a sportscaster. So I'm curious how you make that shift between sports and let's say your other hosting gigs. Like for example, when you're hosting a beauty pageant, parang minsan ba mapapaswitch ka na para, eto, umaarangkada na ang candidate number, ganyan. Or it's not a problem for you at all.
Used to be a problem, Miss Pia. Kasi po, lalo na po nung naalala ko yung pinakauna kong pageant. Nag-ano pa ako noon, medyo alam mo po kasi ang tendency ko po ang ginagawa ko po talaga sa sportscasting, medyo mag-growl ako. Ayan. Ano ba? Gaganon ako. May konti po akong growl ng konti. Una ko pong pageant, nadala ko siya. So sabi ko, it didn't work. Parang ayoko na. Okay, sige. Yun po. So natuto ako doon. Nagkaroon ako ng confidence ng konti. Sige, okay. Now I know what to do. Now, kasi po I got started talaga po. I didn't start naman po with talaga, hosting-wise, sportscasting was something that just came along. Parang ganun po, or was just part of the journey. I really started with, hosting and hosting different events po. So, at least may background na po ako doon. So, pag nag-shift po ako doon, binabalikan ko na lang. Although, ito rin po yung experience ko, Miss Pia. I wasn't, paano ba i-explain to? I wasn't this confident po, or I wasn't this comfortable with myself and with, my hosting style until I came to GMA. Yun po yung naramdaman ko rin. It was after the Kapuso network got me that, really elevated my skills and confidence. Kasi po yun yung sabi nila na parang pag nalalagay ka sa posisyon or you're being put on the spot, kumbaga, you consider it as a leadership position or you're being marketed as the face of something. I'm not saying I'm the face of anything, but, parang pag ganun po yung pakiramdam mo, ako yung sa sarili ko, sige, okay, I gotta step it up and I gotta, take it to the next level. Hindi na yung pwede yung, kumbaga dati po kasi nag-host din po ako dati sa morning show, Miss Pia. So talagang medyo doon na ako na-loosen up. Pero nakikita pa rin nila yung hiya ko dati. So sabi ko, dapat yan, pagdating ko dito, wala na yan. Ibababaan ko na lahat. Wala na akong inhibitions, ibigay mo na lahat dyan. Kasi you're expected to perform at a high level. So, yun po. So now, when I do the hosting, pero tinitignan ko po yung sarili ko and ganun din kasi po ako, na-maintain ko po yung habit. When I was starting out po with sportscasting, nung alam ko pong hindi pa ako magaling, po every game, pinapanood ko siya, gina-jot down ko po yung mga pangit kong ginawa and I would try to apply changes in the next game. So, it's similar to my process now, at least with some of my hosting gigs. Sabi ko, okay, especially po the pageants. The pageants are crucial, Miss Pia, kasi ang daming nanonood. Meron po kaming sa pageant, South Cotabato. Okay. Nagulat po ako, sabi ko, kasi kapartner ko po si Michelle D. na, reigning
Beauty Queen.
Miss Universe Queens. Opo. So talagang everybody wanted to watch it. So nagulat po ako, sabi ko, pagtingin ko po after, may mga nag-send po sa akin ng screenshot. Yung mga nanonood po, mga 50K, 30K.
Wow.
Sabi ko, local pageant. My gosh.
Wow. Tapos
Ganun
ibang,
po.
it's a completely different audience from what you're used to. Diba? Hindi siya sports fans, they're pageant fans. Although baka naman meron pareho.
Meron naman po. Pero Miss Pia, to be fair po dun sa mga, kasi when you go to the different regional events, doon mo talaga mararamdaman kung gaano sila ka-warm at yung suporta talaga nila. Kasi talagang, isang mo lang dyan, pag hinipe mo talaga sila, or, kasi po ganun po ako mag-intro doon. So I would hype them up, ask them how they are, ganyan. They would really respond. Na talaga, wah! Yun po yung yun yung talagang kinikrave ko na crowd din. Kasi as a host po, yun yung masarap na audience, yung talagang very responsive and they respond to, the energy that you're giving them. But of course, after that po, din yung nakukuha ko na yung adjustments ko na, okay, this is a formal event. I stay formal, but I would inject, kasi I love joking around, Miss Pia, so I inject some jokes here and there. So, yun lang po yung flavor ko in my hosting, I guess po.
But so when you were younger, Martin, and you were, growing up as a big basketball fan, what was your parang ultimate goal or your ultimate dream? Was it to be a sportscaster, an athlete, or just television work in general?
Oh, okay. When I was a kid, like kid, Miss Pia, I
Yeah,
wanted to be
kid.
a
And then how
doctor.
did it evolve? Oh, you wanted to be a
Okay.
doctor?
I wanted to be a
Wow.
doctor because that's the most generic answer. Before, sa mga gusto maging, di doktor na lang. Wala pa akong pangarap eh. Honestly po, I remember po in one of the retreats, meron po kasi kaming parang group dun sa isa kong sa high school ko. So parang retreat siya, bago mo puntahan may interview ka. Tinanong ako nung isang parang director nun. Sabi niya, what do you wanna be in life? Sabi ko po, ang sagot ko lang po, in my head, ay hindi, sinabi ko pala talaga. Sabi ko, I wanna be someone. Sabi ko po yun. Sabi ko, I wanna be someone. Sabi niya, someone? What? What someone? Anong klase? Ganyan. Yeah, someone. What I really meant was, of course, you know what I mean, Miss Pia. I wanna be someone people look up to. That's my general idea. Sabi ko po, yun lang yung gusto ko at that time. So doon po siguro nag-start yan, Miss Pia, na, I started looking for more, I guess. And especially po, when I learned that it was a possibility for me to pursue this path. Because I didn't know it was a possibility. Nung nag-aaral po ako noon, nung college, mahiyain pa rin po ako noon. Yung boses ko super, hindi mo po ako maintindihan magsalita. Mas ano pa po ngayon, mas nasal at mas ngungo pa ako noon. So, never really expected, myself to pursue this path. But when I got in dun sa very first, venture, which is the VJ search, sabi ko, uy, pwede pala to. So, why not? My idea po kasi before was, okay, nung high school po ako, fourth year, sige, magmamascom na lang ako. Kasi parehas po ng parents ko mascom. So, magmamascom na lang.
Okay.
Yun po, yun sinundan ko. So, sabi ko, after nito, sundan ko na lang si daddy. Yung dad ko po kasi ay producer po ng commercials. So, sabi ko, sundan ko na lang siya para rin may gabay na ako. So, that was my idea before. Sabi ko, after I graduate, I want to go to advertising. I want to be a big boss in an advertising firm. When I was there already, I did it. I entered an agency. Pero kasi dahil bukas na ako dun sa ibang mga bagay at nakasubok na ako ng ibang mga bagay na pwede kong i-pursue pa, dun ako po na parang nag-isip-isip na, sige, pwede ko sigurong i-pursue yan. Pero ang takot dun, Miss Pia, of course, the fear is always, kasi po, in a way, what I'm doing right now is still freelancing. Well, not now because I'm with GMA, but in a way po it is. Kasi wala kang definite na sweldo per month, ganyan po, hindi siya corporate. So, I think the fear before, especially for me, was, okay, when I leave this job, when I go all in dito sa industry na to, merong mga months na wala ka. Lalo na pag starting from scratch ka at wala ka pa masyadong investment. Merong mga months na wala kang kikitain, nahihintayin mo yung next opportunity mo. Are you willing to do that? And yun po yung negotiation ko sa sarili ko. Tinitingnan ko po yung mga ibang leaders sa industry rin na naging successful. Sabi ko, hindi. Kailangan mo mag-all in. You can't please many masters, especially in life, unless you want everything to be half-baked. So, kailangan talagang meron kang pagfo-focusan ng energy mo. So, yun, that's when I decided po na to drop my day job and just pursue this full-time po.
Well, it looks obviously like going all in is paying off for you. Everyone who gets to work with you is, impressed by the quality of work and the caliber that you bring to the table. And this one, I remember because you hosted the contract signing for Ma'am Jess, Miss Jessica Soho. And imagine the Jessica Soho saying she's impressed by the work that you do. I mean, what was that like for you, di ba? Sinabihan ka ni Jessica Soho na, your hosting is impressive.
Yes po. Mid-hosting nun, Miss Pia, kinilig ako legit. Yun po. Mid-hosting nun, yun po yun. Legit po yung reaction ko dun sa pinost ko na video. Na legit po yun kasi pina-record lang po yun kay Kuya. Yung sa mga natin, mga nasa production staff natin. Record ka, sabi ko record mo na lang po kung ano makuha mo dyan. So yung reaction ko po dun was really, legit and authentic na genuine na, oh my gosh, sinabihan ako kasi po, naalala ko noon, lalo po nung college, same kasi po kami ng
college?
Opo, sa university. So naalala ko po noon, pag tinatanong ko ang mga tao doon, yung college po na yun, alam ko marami talaga siyang prominent alumni. Pero sino yung ano nyo? Sino yung talagang tinitingala nyo dyan? Ilang beses na po nilang inimbita si Ma'am Jess. Lagi po Ma'am Jess ang sasabihin nila. So ako po talagang para sabihin niya yan. At nakita ko pa po din yung mga P-body niya. Sabi ko, what? So yun po yung ano yung introduction ko. Nakita ko lang yung mga award niya dyan, New York Film Festivals. Sabi, sabi yun yung sinasabi ko rin sa iba doon na ito dapat yung tinitingala ng mga tao. Kasi, di ba ano po siya kumbaga, the world gave her recognition. Recognized her good work. The world. And like, this is the Oscars of journalism, yung Peabody. So ito dapat yung tinitingala natin. And for her to say that to me and to validate my hosting that day, sabi ko, I think that's one of the biggest honors po I've ever received in any hosting I've ever done. Probably the biggest po. Probably the biggest na live comment na natanggap ko po. Kasi po ako, Miss Pia, right after an event, if you tell me, you were really good, you were really good. Sabi, gaganon lang po ako, magte-thank you lang po ako. Pero ako po, sa isip ko po, naiisip ko yung mga mali ko. Sabi ko, ba't di ko ginawa yan? Ba't di ko pa rin sinabi yan? Pero nagte-thank you sila, okay sila. Pero ako po naiwan ako dun sa mistake ko na parang, I could have done that better. Pero nung sinabi niya po yun, okay na ako. Okay na ako. Hindi na ako nag-isip ng iba. Ayan.
Imagine naman kasi yung pressure na you're not just hosting in front of Jessica Soho, you're hosting in front of Jessica Soho and her Peabody Awards. The physical
Yes po.
awards na doon, parang may reminder na, galingan mo to ha, galingan mo to. Hindi ka pwedeng petiks-petiks lang siya.
Yan po. Sabi mo, medyo aircon pa po noon. So sabi ko, ang lamig naman dito. Nangindag ako O sige. Andun pa po sila, sila Sir Duavit, sila Sir Yalong. They were watching. I was like, okay, I gotta bring my A game.
Nakaka-tense. Parang kinukwento mo palang natatense na rin ako.
Kasi po hindi ka doon, kumbaga, if you go all out, magre-react sila. Tapos, you gotta stay on a safe spot na parang mabibigay mo enough energy, enough effort na mag-work dun sa event po. So sabi ko, okay, let's go.
Kailangan, you have to find that right balance, no? And you have to strike that right balance. Na hindi ka mag-growl.
Yun po.
Pero
tempting
may
po.
energy pa rin. That's cute, no? But so now, Martin, like you mentioned earlier, doing Game Changer na rin. So now, you've done sports, and then you've done your hosting, entertainment, and now you're also doing news. Parang you get to enjoy the different aspects of it all. What is it about news now that excites you with the new segment? Like you mentioned kanina, it's not just kasi about sports, di ba?
Aside from meeting everybody the first time, so I've met Miss Mel po the first time. Sabi ko, Miss Mel. Hello. Of course, I've met Miss Iya before. Of course, Miss Vicky, na-meet ko rin. Sir Emil, na-meet ko rin po. Aside from meeting everybody, yung segment po kasi namin, it's super, okay, it's game-changing in different ways. First, we have the content. Of course, we have game-changing topics, game-changing in different industries. Ngayon po, nagsisimula pa lang kami, we're trying out different activities that Filipinos could also try out, na medyo extreme at medyo pwede nilang gawing pastime. Ganyan po. So we're also venturing into trending topics as well, yung mga nagtitrend na vlogs, mga nagtitrend na personalities. And we also interview different game-changing personalities po. Ngayon po, siyempre po nasa hanay ako ng sports. So I know who are the game-changing Filipinos in sports. So the ones who really make a mark, especially on the international stage and on the world stage. So yun din po, kasama rin po siya dyan. In the future, we are gonna be exploring po into different tech topics, business topics. Ganun po ka-dynamic yung segment. And plus po, the presentation din po, it's not your regular feature on a newscast. So we put a little twist on the editing. We put a little, actually hindi, not a little, a lot of twists on the editing kasi may mga ano po kami, kailangan it should cater to of course the existing viewers of 24 Oras, but it should also be for the Gen Zs, the millennials. So yung mga ginagawa po na yung ilang iba na transition sa TikTok, yung mga ganyan po, yun yung mga idea po namin na ginagawa din namin dun sa execution po, dun sa mga edit sa mga episode. So I like it that way. And aside from that, Miss Pia, talaga napapalaban po ako. Kasi in one of our features, I was able to try paragliding. So
Wow!
that was my first time. Sabi ko po, wow. And I didn't know what to expect kasi po, like, although I'm kasi po in a previous show po na hinost ko na live, ganun din po ako, nagtatry din ako ng mga different rides, different segments. Pero matagal na po yun. So it was a different feeling here, and it's different if you're doing it for 24. Yun din po, may added pressure and counting weight po yung nasa 24 oras ka. It's the number one, not even just the number one news show in the country. It's the number one show in the country. Just not the number one show in the country. So for you to be there, I gotta bring my A game. I gotta perform. So, yan, Miss Pia. Halo-halo siya, but again, overall po, I'm very grateful and very blessed. Again, did not expect this opportunity to come along, but you know, I'm just gonna be all out on it.
And so now, Martin, you've done sports, you've done, and you're doing news. How about entertainment? Like, I mean, nagteleserye ka na ba? Baka naman nagteleserye ka na. Hindi ko lang alam.
Hindi pa po, Miss Pia.
Hindi
Sa
pa.
totoo
Is it
lang.
something that you would consider acting in a teleserye?
Miss Pia, kaka-acting workshop ko lang din po eh. Ngayon pong
Wow,
break, sabi
talaga?
ko, opo, pinag-acting workshop nila ako dun sa, ano po, sa Sparkle. So, initially po, gusto ko siya. Before Game Changer came along, sabi ko, pwede to ah. This is something kasi po fan ako ng, alam ko hindi halata rin, pero fan din po ako ng mga musicals and plays.
O, hindi nga halata.
Hindi halata po. Kasi sports, tough. Tapos biglang musicals and plays. Noong nagpunta po ako ng New York for the first time dati, naalala ko po pre-pandemic, feeling ko, pinapunta ako ni Lord bago mag-pandemic eh. Noong nagpunta po ako, nakakapat po ako agad doon na Broadway play. Sabi ko, okay, I won't miss this. Ganun po ako ka-interested talaga doon sa ano po. Recently po, pinanood ko si Khalil Ramos, fellow Kapuso.
TikTok
Khalil
boom.
Ramos. TikTok boom. So, I was a fan of the movie po. So, I really wanted, to see their interpretation on stage. So, again, kudos to them. So, yun po. So, nakikita ko po kasi fan po ako ng musicals kasi nakikita ko rin yung proseso nila. And feeling ko similar po yan. Anybody in the TV industry, feeling ko kaparehas yan ng hustle and grind and how they conduct themselves and how they pursue their dreams. Yun po. So, fan po ako ng mga proseso nila. So, nag-acting workshop po, sabi ko, pwede to ah. Parang iba, nandun ko po na-appreciate kung gaano kahirap po yung
Process.
pag-arte. Opo, yung proseso
Oo.
ng pag-arte. Hindi po siya biro. You really invest a lot of emotions and you really get drained. And plus, you have to have a system. Kumbaga, hindi mo dapat win-wing yung mga acting gigs po. If you're serious about it, you have to learn the process, you have to learn the structure, para yun na yung gagamitin mo every time. I'm not closing the doors, Miss Pia.
Oo nga, baka next time I interview you or next time I see you, parang starring role ka na.
Ay, grabe
In a
naman po.
teleserye.
Tingnan natin pa. Tingnan natin.
Oh,
Sige
that's
po.
exciting. But that's the best attitude naman talaga, di ba? Always, keep your doors open for whatever opportunities present themselves. Like you said, sportscasting wasn't something na parang you thought you would actually really be doing in the long term, but the opportunity presented itself and you grabbed it, di ba? So, that's always, I think, the best attitude in whatever career path you choose to take, di ba? But, Martin, since we have you, the game changer, here on the show, we are going to play a little game na rin with you. Is that okay?
Okay.
Kasi,
I'm
diba,
nervous, but it's
no,
okay.
don't be.
Okay.
Hindi naman to masyadong high stakes.
Oh, sige po. Sige po.
Ano lang, pride and ano lang. Pride lang ang nandito sa game na to. That's all that's at stake. Just kidding. But here. So, okay, let me go through it, ha. The title of this is Game Changers with Martin Javier. Okay, so it's all just, it's a pretty simple Q&A. I'm gonna ask you about game changers in your life, okay? May love life ba dito? Just kidding.
Ah!
Kasi kung wala, ako yung magsisingit na nung question na yun. Just kidding. Okay, here. So it's basically sino ang mga maituturing na game changers ni Martin sa iba't ibang aspeto ng kanyang buhay. Okay? First, for you, Martin, sino ang maituturing mong game changer sa mga NCAA host?
Wow. Game changer. I won't mention myself. Di po ako magbubuhat ng bangko. Abay po my colleague. Ako po, I really look up to Anton.
Anton Rojas.
Opo.
Okay.
Before pa ako makapasok, fan na po ako ng work niya.
Okay, nice. So Anton is one of the game changers for you on NCAA.
Me, opo.
How about when it comes to the athletes?
Sige po. Athletes in the
Sa
past 2
NC.
seasons, pwede po
Yes,
yan?
okay lang.
Renz
Basta
Abando.
anyone that you've covered. Renz Abando. Oh, sige, yung
Renz
kay Renz,
Abando.
explain mo. Kasi kay Anton, you said because of the work that he does, diba? The quality of work that he brings to the table. How about kay Renz Abando?
And sa banda po, I'm really proud of him po kasi Miss Pia, I think he's part of why people watch the NCAA, yung pinakaunang season na nagkaroon ng games po na nandito na sa GMA. So I think siya isa sa mga malaking bagay kung paano nagkaroon ng increased viewership po yung NCAA kasi ang dami pong fans ni Renz. And then after he gave us highlight after highlight each game, won the MVP, won the championship, went to Korea, and then won a championship again with his Korean team in the highest league there, dun po sa Korea na yun. And kasi po hindi ka naman magiging star player agad po dun kasi may mga may mga import. But he was a vital part of that championship team and now he's part of, at least in the extended lineup, extended roster po natin sa Gilas Pilipinas, is still part of the national team. So for me, Renz Abando, his arrival in the NCAA was definitely a game changer.
Okay. That's parang it's understandable, no, talaga, why you would consider him the game changer. How about, sino ang game changer for Martin pagdating sa hosting?
Hosting. Ano po? International and ano ba po?
Either.
Any. Okay. My idol kasi po in hosting is Conan O'Brien.
Oh, I love Conan. Oo.
Conan. I'm a Conan fan po. Kasi ang bilis niya, Miss B eh. Bihira yan. Yung sobrang bilis na snap. Bihira yan sa... Well, nakikita mo rin yun sa ibang host. But they're not as fast as Conan. He's very witty. He's very intelligent as well. When it comes... Harvard graduate. Yan po. Tapos... Kumbaga, kahit anong stage, paakitin mo siya dyan, pahawakin mo siya ng mic, hindi nyo kailangan mag-ready ng isang set. Meron siyang naka-lock in na lalabas na lang, magfo-flow na lang sa kanya. And aside from that, Miss Pia, I also admire him because, especially with what happened to him before, siya yung nagdala ng buong staff niya. Opo, so he was a host, I think, and he was about to be, or he became the host of The Tonight Show. And then, the next host, the previous host came back. So he got kind of booted out. So dinala niya yung staff niya, lahat nung tumulong sa kanya. It's the overall package for me. Siya po yung idol ko pagdating sa hosting in general. Yan.
Tsaka parang kahit anong audience kaya niya no? I mean, kahit sino pang kausap niya. Okay. Yeah. Oh, eto na. Oh, nako, Martin. Ready ka na bang dumating ang game changer sa love life mo? That is assuming na wala pa yung game changer sa love life mo.
Wala pa naman po.
Wala pa.
Pero ready na. Saan ba?
I'm just here waiting. Ganun, diba? Parang I'm just here waiting.
Hintay lang na. Ako na naman po naghihintay. Ilang naman hindi dumadating at pumupunta eh. Hindi po ako po, naman ako. Especially at this stage. Ready naman po ako. Ready.
Parang ready for your next project no? Ready naman ako. Hindi. Ito na lang. Ano ba hinahanap mo sa isang game changer sa love life? Diba? I mean, I'm sure that's what the girls are asking. That's what they wanna know.
Ano po? Which aspect, Miss Pia? Is this physical or is this
both physical and personality-wise?
Okay.
Ano bang nangingibabaw?
And well, Ano ba? Apo, initially kasi, of course, syempre po, ang pinopursue ko, yung mga talagang nagagandahan ako at na-attract ako. So I guess that's the first layer. But
True.
that's only the first layer. Yeah, that's only the first layer. You have to be attracted to the person. Usually po, ang type ko, mestiza, maputi. Yan po. Tapos, medyo, yun po, cute, defined features, ganyan po. Grabe to, ha? Sige po.
Very specific, no?
Very specific, opo. Yun talaga yung nahanap ko po. So, alam ko pag type ko, hindi. Yan po. Next po, syempre, you take them out on a date and then you get to know them. Ang hinahanap ko po, more than, next na po yung personality sa akin and conversation. I really observe po how they interact with other people. Kasi po, gusto ko po mabait din. Gusto ko po yung okay makitungo sa iba. And they treat other people the right way. Yun po, equally, ganyan. So, yun po yung hinahanap ko na parang, at nakikita ko na po yun the first time. Yan po.
Alam
And
mo,
then,
Martin. Oh, meron pa? Oh, ano pa?
ayun po, personality. Siyempre po, personality. Yun po, gusto ko rin, talagang ito na yung overall, ha? Ito na yung overall. Ano ba? Personality-wise po, siyempre po, initially po mabait, pero may ano din, may sense of humor, tapos dapat click kami dun sa, hindi naman lahat ng interest, pero at least, we connect on different levels, on some levels. Yun po. Yun feeling ko yung game changer.
Nako, Martin, para dami kong kilalang Kapuso artist na mestiza, na mabait, di ba? May
Sino yan,
sense
Miss
of
Pia?
humor. Wala ka pa
Sino yan,
bang
Miss
kilala? Hindi mo pa sila nakikilala?
Ako po kasi dito sa GMA, friendly po ako. So, friends.
Friends? Ano ibig sabihin ng ganito klaseng
po.
friends?
Ayan, friends po kami. Ayan.
Friends.
Ayan, Ganon, Miss Pia. Ayan, friends, sige.
Friends yan,
Na may
friends.
love. Sige po.
Oo. So, wala
Ako
pa,
po.
wala pa. Okay.
Wala pa
Nako,
na.
Martin, dahil dyan, I'll be on the lookout for all the mga mestiza na kakatawa ganyan para ma-introduce ko sa'yo.
Ako, sige po, Miss Pia.
Pero, ibig sabihin, kailangan mo sabihin sa amin pag meron na. Kasi baka mamaya siya, pakilala kami na pakilala sa'yo, meron na pala.
I-update ko.
Please keep us posted, ha?
Pero magpakilala po kayo.
Keep us posted, ha?
Okay.
Next. This is the last question. How would you describe a game changer, a real-life game changer?
How would I describe a real-life game changer? Siguro, Miss Pia, de-describe ko yun sa mga tao. How do I? Kumbaga, they're the first to do this, they're the first to do that. Or they shatter the conventions. And kasi po ako, ang dami kong nakikita ng mga tao na pinapakita nila sa atin. Kasi po, like a dreamer like me, ito po, feeling ko one aspect lang to ng pagiging game changer. But a dreamer like me, of course, mataas ang mga pangarap ko. Sasabihin ko, kaya ko abutin yan. But, in my head, alam ko magiging mahirap. The game changers just make them happen. And they achieve the biggest of dreams. They get the biggest of dreams. And, yun po. And they perform at a high and a very consistent level. Yun po para sa akin ang game changer. Kasi po, lalo po ngayon dito sa linya natin, nakakita ko na, especially yung international opportunities. I'll give you an example po. Si Miss Dolly De Leon. It's insane what she did for the acting industry just this year. Na-nominate siya sa Golden Globes, na nandun siya sa international, and now she is a legitimate international actress. So, for me po, a game changer is like that because aside from her achievements, it also kind of has a ripple effect po sa mga Pilipino. Lalo na sa mga aktor na Pinoy na tinitignan na tayo ng mga international scouts siguro na, they have, good pool of talent in the Philippines. It's the same with EJ Obiena. It's the same with Bianca Bustamante who represents us in F1 Academy. Miss Jessica Soho gets recognizes by Peabody. So, yun po yung para sa akin, yung mga game changers. So they get it, and then the effect on the entire community is massive, is very influential. Yun po. Haba, Miss Pia, sorry.
No,
Opo.
but it's a great answer, and we really look forward, Martin, to meeting all these new game changers that, we might have not even heard of through you on 24 Oras. So thank you so much, Martin, for taking time out to be with us today. I had fun. I hope you had fun.
I had so much fun, Miss Pia. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us, Martin. And I hope to see you around again soon in real life.
Yes, for sure. In the 24 Oras studio, Miss
Yes.
Pia. Hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there too. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Miss Pia.
This game-changing surprise was planned by the team of Justin Kenneth Carandang and Aubrey De Los Reyes, edited by Shirley Paghiligan with the wonderful people of GMA Integrated News. Don't forget to like and subscribe. To the next surprise.